Fallout 76 pretty much has anything anyone would ever need. It's got guns, bombs, and last but not least, gambling. And only one of these is working correctly because the house always wins. But in all seriousness, this game has been through absolute hell, and it is far from making it out. We're still down there, alright? As much as the show gave it a decent resurgence, and I see a lot of fucking people on nowadays, the new players haven't really fixed the huge issue with the game, and I kind of want to go over what the issues are in a little video, a little length compared to the rest of the high quality stuff on the movie channel, alright? Just a smaller video. I like how I'm saying it's smaller. This is 20 minutes. Like there's people making like 7-hour iCarly videos, and I'm making a 20-minute video, and I'm sweating from the brow here. Oh, my bad. God forbid I ever make like the thing I promised and the other thing I promised and the Gungeon series I promised and that weird I don't know what it fucking was. Some can. I didn't actually plan that. It's coming out. I promise. I promise. Yeah. Promise. This game is like owning a brand new dog you just got as a birthday present. You don't know much about it. There's a chance it'll eat all your clothing, piss in the corner of the room. But it's an awesome gift, and it could be really cool, and there's a lot of things you can do with a dog. You can take it on a walk, go have fun outside, play a little fetch with them, have some fun with it. Even if it's still pissing in the corner of your room, and you got to do something about that, and you hope that your trainer will come and teach your dog something. You still have fun in the meantime, all right? As you wait for that to do it because you're a lazy piece of shit, you still have some fun in the meantime. And, maybe it's missing a shot or two, but it's your dog. You've grown up with it at this point. You got a bond going. You've had a couple dogs in the past, and they've all been really good. One of them was amazing back in the day, and now you got another one. And you're excited. You're having a good time, and it. Where am I going with this? To give a quick rundown to people who don't know much about 76, it's an open MMO made by a separate division of Bethesda, which, if you know anything about the development of this and what happened when it released, which we won't be glossing on, is rough. The game consists of a general loop of running around, gunning enemies down of multiple variety at this point. It is shocking how many different enemies are in this game at this point. And collecting loot, building up a camp, you build whatever you want there. I built a little city on my spare time. And dropping nukes on other people in the game because it's funny. And I don't care if you want to fight the raid boss. You built where my camp was supposed to be, and I can't swap servers right now because my internet's bad. So you're getting a bomb. To better explain my issues with this game, I'm going to split it into 3 eras, give or take. There's some leeway in how I'm doing it, but to make it a little easier to understand where I'm coming from, we're going to do these 3 eras. The Canvas, the Gold, and the Steel era. The Canvas era leads up to Wastelands. Everything before then, including Nuclear Winter, is involved in that era to me. That is the opening of the game, the Break It Early test, the small portions of updates they released in between, and the huge nuclear fallout that was the launch of the game that caused a lot and lots of issues. There are plenty of videos that go into that era a bit. The Gold era consists of everything until about the start of the Pit update for 76. I know you're probably wondering why I'm deciding to go to the Pit update. It's because the first couple battle passes and seasons added some stuff. It wasn't like major differences to the game in the way I'm talking about. It'll make more sense as I go along. And this pretty much consists of the renaissance of the game, where we got all the NPCs, the new updates, the companions and allies. The game's got a couple more activities and events on its belt. It's starting to look a little better. It's starting to feel more like a game that should have been released at this point, and probably could have skipped that first, how long was it? A year. And the final era is the Steel era, and I'm qualifying it as Steel because there was a vertibird, and I assume it's made of steel. and that was kind of the big thing, was going to like the pit in Atlantic City, and was the time where they actually made something cool out of it and prioritized what people enjoyed, and actually got a little bit more creative with some stuff, added some new ideas and changed a couple things, and released lore bits that they really fucking shouldn't have, which I'll get to. To start, let me go over some small side missions that are kind of little like storylines that were involved in each one of these. To start with the Canvas era, we had the Mistress of Mystery storyline, which was one of the cooler ones, I would say, but shows a lot of flaws that happened with the Canvas era of 76. The mission started by you finding a corpse of a woman in a black and green dress and finding a veil. There was a bunch of them all over the map, something you'd randomly walk into as you were going around, and gave you a mission to go find the manor of the woman who played as the Mistress of Mystery, who's this superhero kind of detective character in the Fallout franchise, like a comic book character. Once you get into her manor, you learn that she has started the Mistress.
Hello, post-edit me here. I had to cut 90% of this because this goes on for 20 minutes of me talking. So no one wants to see that. To sum it up, it is like 7 terminal missions in a fucking row. A mission where I have to kill something with a knife that's level 1 while I'm 50. And the boss is dead at the very end. I just saved you guys 20 minutes of your time.
They literally scrapped it for the Mistress fighting the boss themselves, which I think is kind of funny. And that's pretty much a good way to look at anything that was made in the Canvas era. It had a lot of opportunity and a lot of cool ideas that came with it. The map is gorgeous and everything they built with the map is really cool, but there's just nothing in depth about it. There's nothing specific to look into to find something cool when you're out there. And the Gold era fixed that to a point. The Gold era was involved with the Wastelanders DLC under my era assumptions that I made a bit ago. And those finally added NPCs to the game, so we had a bunch of people to go talk to, we had more dialogue, a lot more characters around to speak with. You had a great opening mission to 76. Everything with the Wayward was really well done to kind of put people in and tell them how the new instance system works. And the whole thing was just fun. Everything about it was enjoyable. The missions in it were really good. There was a lot of actual conversation. It felt more like an RPG and focused more on what that meant compared to the MMO side of it. And I think it worked out pretty well. They didn't fucking touch anything from the old era. And this is a long board issue. This goes over pretty much anything. Anything involved with the original era of the game was kind of just slightly incorporated or left to its own devices. And it shows the gap of improvement, but doesn't fix the issue a whole lot, especially when you're forced to go through part of the original campaign to reach the new one. Without trying to spoil anything, to reach specific points in the second campaign that they added with the Wastelanders stuff, you have to reach a inoculation of a thing that I won't be explaining. If you played the game, you know. But it involves you still going through that original story, and they didn't do much to it. I know there is like NPCs they added, but you don't have to talk to any of them. Even when you do the like basic responder stuff, you don't have to speak to the 4 people who were there. They're just there to emphasize the idea that they're coming back, and that there's now Wastelander. Look, we'll put someone there. Why do I still talk to the fucking terminal? You have a real person here. Let me do some dialogue with them. Let's have some like conversation. They can teach me through it. Why am I still talking to this fuck off terminal? But when it comes to the actual Wastelanders new content, they did pretty well on it. About on par with some of the normal Fallout 4 missions, I'd say. With some exceptions of the scenery, because a lot of the missions bring you to some pretty cool areas. I have to give the map design credit. The Steel era, on the other hand, is when they started pulling their big boy pants up, alright? They start sending you on actual dungeons, instance areas where you can go on these whole expeditions and new spots like the Pit and Atlantic City, and they all have their own little segments for them, with optional missions in between and some pretty fucking sick rewards, like gambling. God, I love gambling. Although some of them can be a little boring, you get your odd, like, collect mission every once in a while involved with the dungeon. They involve you bringing through other places, and usually they're on the optional side. So if you want to actually just do a dungeon, you can do a dungeon. It's also one of the only missions you can do with other people that progress both things, which I haven't even gotten into yet. But it's that and events are kind of the only two things that you can progress with other people without having them have to redo part of it on their own time. Which that should really be a cardinal sin, a bunch of this stuff at this point. Having somebody go through it and then have to do it on their own time is really, really bad, and I don't know why games do it. So, for shame on that one. Fix that shit now, because I'm sorry, I was trying to play this with my friend at one point. We went bowling together in game. That was pretty fun, little romantic dinner date at the bowling alley. But if you think for a second I'm gonna go through the DMV mission with him and then do it again on my own character, you have another thing coming. I'm sorry, man. It ain't happening, Chief. My bad. I ain't doing that fucking DMV mission on my other character. I deleted my other character and just completely, purposely did not mention it to my friend because I'm not doing that DMV mission again. This video's all over the place, so let's just keep going. I'm just full sending at this point. Let's mention Fallout first. I got it for the purpose of understanding this video, and I like the stuff you can do with your custom worlds. That's fun. I don't know why there's a forced black and white filter if you want. That's an odd choice and kind of annoying, but I mean, it's cool to have the option, I guess. I wish there's been more you could do. Wish there was a little bit of more creativity you can put into it. Like maybe you could change to make it so everyone has a certain mutation or adjust mutation levels. Or make it so a bunch of enemies do this amount of damage and there's like one enemy that does a huge amount of damage and you can make your own like little raid boss out of that kind of idea. But just having like the basics is pretty fun. Oh, add the ability to turn on events when pleased. I don't want to do random ones. Just let me trigger events as the owner of the custom world. If it's not going to affect the adventure point of it and it's not going to cross over at all, let me mess with it a bit more. On that note, let me just fucking fly, honestly. let me hack in NoClip at this point. If it's in my own world and it's not gonna affect anything on the other side, allow me to just do whatever I want with it. Let me open console commands. let me like be able to like mod stuff into my own version of it, or give me the ability to download the world and let me go through that way. The little vault shelter update kind of thing. I don't get the point of it. I don't know a single person who uses them. They're there, and I mean, I guess it's something. But what is the purpose of it, really? You already build your camp, and that was kind of the big point. And although it's cool the idea of having your own like vault that you could go into and have your own thing there, I think it would have been a lot cooler to do a little bit more of a like town idea. Let me cook for a second. Make it so there is a vault system that's like that, like the shelter system that you have in the game. But have like an actual, use like a vault and make it so... What's a good example of what I'm trying to like portray here? Roblox work at a pizza place. Let's go off of Roblox work at a pizza place. Have a bunch of streets that have your houses on them. And have a reason to go and like visit other people's like vault rooms. Like it's a little vault community or something. Have missions that involve that. Have like a cool like, I don't know, fucking level up system. Do something like that. That's a cool idea. And expand on the idea of why it's really necessary and like useful. While we're on this point, give us more damn bosses. I want some more interesting bosses to spawn in specific areas. I think there's only 2 like big raid bosses that I can think of, and beyond that, some of the dungeons only come down to having 1 boss. I think it comes down to dungeons is have more of a level dungeon system. Take a step from WoW, or like a raid from WoW. Have like rooms that lead to bosses that keep going. So it's like room boss, and have these big moments between every single one of them as you reach the end of the missions. Because a lot of them only consist of like 1 boss at the very end. And I mean, they're nice and short, and I like that, but it makes it so you can kind of just rush it and there's not a lot of cool events in between that can happen in some of them. I know some people are gonna think I'm just whining. Give me the ability to like aimbot like I'm Soldier 76. I want to just fly through the map, please. I don't know. It sounds cool to me. I like the vault idea. That one, I'm proud of that one. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that. This video is all over the place, so let's scale it back to something else. Map design in funny areas. The skeleton drafting war that you mentioned in that one shack in the edge of the map was pretty funny. I laughed at that. That's all I got. It was pretty funny, bravo. I think the cryptid system is very, very fun. I think you should stop using the Mothman as much. I feel like this is like the 10th thing they've had to the Mothman. Where's like the Flatwoods monster? I've seen him once in the whole fucking game, and he teleported away and I didn't even get to kill him. Give us something with him. Or do aliens, I don't know. There's more, okay. Another tangent, I know. There's more Mothman sightings, I think, in this game. There's more Mothman than I see Deathclaws. And I think that's an issue when it's meant to be a cryptid. Like, Deathclaws are everywhere. Mothman is specific to this point, and I feel like I see him more. Because he's fucking everywhere. I remember playing when the game came out, and the first time I saw the Grafton monster, I got fucking terrified. Because I knew they were like random events that could happen in some places. Until you learn that he always spawns in Grafton. And he always spawns in specific areas and will just sometimes show up randomly. And the issue is that it emphasizes on some specifically and don't do others a lot. And so it makes something like the Mothman not as cool as it would be as like the Flatwoods monster, or like just seeing fucking aliens. Like, give me some goddamn aliens, I don't care. Oh, good example of that, the Sheep Squatch campaign. That was something in Wastelanders I could have talked about. The Sheep Squatch campaign, where you go and then you learn there's just an imposter, it's an Assaultron dressed as one. Very good use of the character, especially when it is real. There is an actual Sheep Squatch that I had spawn on me when I was recording, so luckily I got an image of that, so I'll be showing the combat and what's happening now. But that's a cool idea, and I wish there was more of that kind of spot. But there isn't a whole lot of the, is it real, is it not? You just know it's real. There is like 8 Mothmans. Last little tangent I go on. There's a raid boss that happens with the Nuka-Cade stuff, which was about the end of my gold era kind of shit. Why doesn't it ever spawn? I have like maybe 200 hours on this game between both of my like play on PC and Xbox. Where is this thing? does it show up? Do I have to trigger it? I haven't looked it up at all, so maybe I have to like trigger it somehow. But I thought it was just like a random like raid event. Do I gotta drop a nuke on Nuka-Cade? I don't like. I want to see this dude. I've never seen him before. They showed it in like one of the trailers, and that's all I've ever seen of this guy. I want to actually like fight him, but he never shows up. I never get the mission. Sorry, this video's all over the place. I'm just gonna end it here. I have completely lost the purpose of what I'm doing here at this point. I am just venting. So, play the game. I would recommend it. If we get more people playing, it reached peak recently. So, if more people are playing it, hopefully they add some pretty cool stuff. I know they're working on stuff and probably the PTR and everything, but I'm not gonna touch that. I ain't getting, I don't want Daddy Todd fucking shooting me with a gun in my sleep. So, we'll just not speak on anything more. But, yeah. Play this game. It's very recommended. It was on sale recently, but I'm sure it'll be on sale again. It's usually pretty damn cheap. It was like $8. And I would say it's pretty worth it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Would recommend. Like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Next video saying I lie about everything will be a 7-hour Has-Been Hotel deep analysis, where I go into full deep into a whole cover of every song sung by me, along with a 13-hour art stream where I draw a fucking cheeseburger. Yeah. There we go. That's my next goal. And then after that will be the Can the movie. Can 2, Electric Boogaloo will be after that, alright? Doesn't matter what I say, I'm fucking lying about it anyway. I'll see you guys next time. I am doing another one of these. I want to actually speak better and maybe have like some congruency to my ideas. But yeah, thank you guys. I'll see you guys later.